It's gonna obscure my view from the gate.
If you try to run or you try to resist, you will get hit with mouthpiece, it's gonna hurt.
I got you.
If you try to run, we have canine on premises and you will get bit.
I media trained you. That's controversial.
It's controversial of...
No, I need it. Really good.
Okay,
It's been a good one. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Mwah, 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 mwah. Oh my. Delete everything. Delete everything. Everything goes. Everything.
So, ladies and gentlemen, it finally happened. He's been arrested. David's punk ass is in custody, and yeah, the mugshot is out. But why does it look like he's trying to build an aura or something? Like, who set up that lighting? Seriously, who approved this? Why does it look like a damn album cover? And of course, the internet already turned it into memes, like they really sat there and said, yeah, this the one. Oh, that's weird. It feels like they were trying to force another viral mugshot for all the wrong reasons, but hey, they got him now for anyone who's been living under a rock this past year. Doesn't know who David is, he's a piece of, and we'll leave it at that. We're not even about to go into all that it doesn't matter. Just know he's a piece of who did some horrible, horrific things to a minor, and now, yeah, he's heading straight to the cheek-snatching house. Cheek's about to get snatched, but I'm still sitting here wondering what the hell took so long. Like, seriously, because now all of a sudden everything's moving fast. Now we got charges, statements, energy everywhere. But where was that energy before? And now they're finally saying Celeste was ruled a homicide. We already knew that. Why didn't y'all know? It didn't take a rocket scientist to see this girl was unalived. Where were y'all? It's 2026. We got logic. We got AI. You could have asked ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini. Anybody. Everybody knew what happened except LAPD. Yeah. They just clueless. Nobody thought this was random. Yeah, we had to say allegedly a lot, but we knew what it was now that we finally got the details.
It's gonna obscure my view from the gate.
If you try to run or you try to resist, you will get hit with mouthpiece, it's gonna hurt.
I got you.
If you try to run, we have canine on premises and you will get bit.
I got you. Alright, so the gate is locked. Do I open the gate? Sir? Open the gate.
Today I am announcing the charges against David Anthony Burke, the musician known as David, spelled D4vd, in connection with the brutal and horrific murder of Celeste, a 14-year-old at that time. And there are 3 sets of charges that have been brought. The first-degree murder with special circumstances, and again, those special circumstances are lying in wait. That Celeste went to Mr. Burke's home on the night of April 23rd, 2025, as alleged in the complaint, at his invitation, and again, was not heard from again. The second is a special circumstance being that this murder was committed for financial gain. As the evidence will show in court, the financial gain was for Mr. Burke to maintain his very lucrative musical career that Celeste was threatening on that particular night. The third charge, in addition to lying in wait and for financial gain, is murdering a witness to an investigation. In this particular case, as the evidence will come out in court, the witness to the investigation was Celeste. And the investigation was into the lewd and lascivious sexual acts committed by Mr. Burke that is the subject of count 2 of this complaint with Celeste while she was under 14 years old. The investigation was to determine who killed, who murdered.
All right, let me break this down real quick because this whole situation is nasty and I want everybody following along. David got arrested life. Basically over they hit him with multiple charges and not light ones. Either I'm talking first degree plan type charges like you knew exactly what you were doing. On top of that, they're saying he was dealing with a minor, which yeah, we already knew she wasn't even close to his age, a literal child. And it gets worse, they're saying everything connects the relationship. The motive, the reason, all of it. According to prosecutors, he lured her and probably told her. He wanted to talk about something, maybe they were arguing, maybe tension was already there. He tells her, pull up, she shows up, and that's when everything went left. They're saying he did all of this to protect himself, his image, his career. Like, bro, you crashed out for your reputation and still lost everything anyway. You can't make this up. Then they added another charge for trying to cover it up, interfering, moving, weird, hiding things. So clearly there was already some kind of investigation going on. Maybe she was about to go to the police about the relationship, or maybe something was already building. Either way, instead of dealing with it, he interfered in the worst way possible. So now it's not just did he do it, it's you did it and then tried to be slick after. That's why this trial is about to get messy. It's not just one issue, it's layered. They build a whole narrative on this piece of, and now they gotta prove it. And they even said they have 40 terabytes of evidence on him.
Counsel, there's approximately 40 terabytes of discovery in this case.
40 terabytes?
$40.
$40.
At this point, y'all might as well throw the whole book at him, and it gets even worse. They're saying he allegedly used a sharp object. So yeah, she went through something brutal. Prosecutors are saying she threatened to go to authorities about the relationship, and he did all this to protect himself. That's up. Honestly, someone needs to drag his ass to hell. Forget prison. Satan himself need to handle that 5'5", 125-pound frame. Twitter got no chill. Y'all are wild. But think about it. You wanted to protect your image, your career, your money, and your solution was to destroy your entire life anyway? Make it make sense. You didn't have to do this. You really didn't. And now a young girl lost her life because of it. This might be one of the dumbest criminals I've ever seen, because how do you even come up with something like that? Then you do something that's serious, that's sick, and just leave everything sitting near your house for months? Let it decompose like that. Didn't even try to hide it properly. It's like you wanted to get caught. Then you out here doing shows, performing, moving around like life normal. Nah, that's stupid, you weird, completely disconnected from reality. And let's be real, police should have arrested him way earlier. Because even before all this, there were already enough red flags, a minor involved. She was staying with him, everybody knew, even teachers knew, so where was the urgency? And don't hit me with they needed evidence, cool, but we've seen people get locked up for way less, so why drag this one out? Feels like people don't move fast enough when it comes to kids, not enough care, and with her parents being immigrants. Yeah, that probably played a role too, and now she's gone. He had all that time to move freely, and when you look at how everything allegedly played out, it just gets more disturbing. Because it's not just the crime, it's everything around it. The delays, the warning signs, the lack of urgency. We gotta protect kids, man. She was a real person, a young girl who didn't deserve any of this. And cases like this don't get taken seriously until it's too late. Her people failed her straight up. Teachers, anyone who knew failed her. Now people debating punishment, life or death penalty, and honestly, ending it quick is too easy. That's an exit now. Let him live if he really did this. You sit with it every day. No distractions, no escape, just reality. You need to sit there and face it. And yeah, people saying prison gonna handle him. It is what it is, because what happened here allegedly is beyond sick, and yeah, I gotta say allegedly for legal reasons, but we're not stupid. Now it's over. He's caught. No more pretending you're done. Booty house. Waiting. No escape, no comeback. No redemption. Arc, just don't drop the soap. And now his family coming out saying they stand behind him 100%. Of course they do. That's their son. What they gonna do, diss him? Nah, family gonna be family. I'm not even mad at that. That's what they're supposed to do. Support, deny, cope, because no parent wants to believe that. But that doesn't change reality outside that house. Everybody looking at this like, yeah, he's cooked, been cooked, and people even talking about how different he looks now. Face swollen, not the same. Maybe he used to shave to look younger or something. I don't know. He's still young though, right? Like 20. And yeah, we got to talk about the music. Normally, I'm the first one to say separate the art from the artist. I still believe that I like all types of music, hardcore, horrorcore, metal, gothic. I'm into all that. I play horror games, watch horror movies. That's my lane, but this situation, it's different. This isn't just music anymore. It feels like something deeper, like he was channeling some weird obsession. This wasn't heartbreak. This wasn't just being edgy or goth. This felt real, like he wasn't acting. He was becoming it. It's like he was writing a creepy trailer for his own downfall. And nobody caught it now. Look, I'm not big on using lyrics as evidence. We not doing that, Drake. But when the energy matches the behavior, when the vibes line up too perfectly, yeah, people start looking at everything different. And honestly, I wouldn't even be shocked if they use his music in court. Some of those songs match way too closely at that point. It doesn't feel like art. It feels like a warning sign we all ignore. That's eerie. It's like he was waiting for a reason, any excuse to act out what he was building in his head. That's not normal. That's not misunderstood artist. That's sick. And now look at you, career gone. Life gone, freedom gone, everything clipped. All because you couldn't control yourself. Now you about to sit for years thinking about how you threw everything away over selfish, disgusting decisions. Yeah, take him straight to the meat cheek house. No VIP, no stage, just consequences. There's gonna be noise in there, but not the kind you used to. That's the only tour you got left. And I said this before people got mad, but I don't care. I'm calling it how I see it. He treated that girl like she was his muse, his inspiration. That's not art. That's weird, creepy, disgusting. Those songs, those videos, the girls looked like her. And he literally described things in his music that now line up with reality. That's disturbing, and I'll keep it real. Even if somehow magically the court says he didn't do it, cool, you still had a minor around you. You still crossed lines that should never be crossed. She was a runaway. There's too much pointing to inappropriate behavior, so either way. You wrong. I'm not about to sit here and act like, oh, if he didn't do it, he's good. No hell, no, you still foul, still out of line, still need consequences because that behavior alone? That's enough, and then hearing he might have known her since she was 10 or 11. Nah, throw the whole person away trial, just throw his ass away, honestly. That alone should have been enough to lock him up a long time ago. I'm not even understanding this. I really don't get why it took so damn long. Prosecutors are saying David unalived Celeste in April 2025, and she wasn't discovered until months later inside a car left out in the heat. By that time, her body was severely decomposed. That's probably what slowed everything down. They likely had to take time figuring out the cause of death since they said she was mutilated, and that's just foul. That little girl didn't deserve that. That's not just wrong, that's inhumane. That's pure evil. And while all of this was unfolding, this dude was outside performing, living life, acting like nothing happened. That's what makes it even more sinister. You didn't just do something wrong, you carried on like it didn't exist. If she was going to authorities, that was her right. She's a child. You never should have been in that situation with her. In the first place, you should have taken accountability like a grown-ass, a grown-ass man or a grown-ass piece of... But instead, you picked the worst possible route, and now look, karma is a big with a heavy back, and she came full circle on your ass. Everything you tried to protect, your career, your image, your life gone, because at the end of the day, you made that choice. And then this clown walks into court on April 20th, fresh off being picked up earlier that week, everything already collapsing around him, and still has the audacity to say not guilty.
Good afternoon, Mr. Burke.
Yes, this is Attorney Beth Silverman to the people, Your Honor.
Thank you. And counsel, on behalf of your client, do you waive formal reading of the complaint, advisement of rights, including armed forces and veterans' rights, enter a plea of not guilty, denying any and all special allegations, enhancements, and priors?
Yes, Your Honor. Very happy to put on the evidence that we've collected in this case in the last summer months.
Thank you. So the matter will be set, plea of not guilty has been entered on behalf of Mr. Burke. The matter will be set in Department 105.
Not guilty, come on, man, stop it. Where is this confidence coming from? The delusion is crazy. This man really stood there like, yeah, I'm gonna beat this like it's a parking ticket, bro. This is your entire life on the line and it's already slipping away. You sitting there acting like you about to finesse your way out of this. You're not slick, you're cooked, fully done. Over, and then your lawyers come in suit and tie, talking all fancy like he's not responsible. We demand a preliminary hearing immediately.
From the media reports, apparently there have been 4 months of secret grand jury proceedings. We believe that Mr. Burke is entitled at the earliest opportunity to an open preliminary hearing, and the proceedings not be done in secret. So we are asking for a preliminary hearing to be set at the earliest possible date on the 10th day. Your Honor, we believe the actual evidence will show David Burke did not murder Celeste Rivas Hernandez, nor was he the cause of her death. And we would like to be able to have the evidence come into the light of day at the earliest opportunity in order to establish that.
Oh, now you want to speed things up? Now there's urgency? Where was all that before? Now you're trying to fast forward the whole thing like you don't want to sit through the part where everything you did gets exposed, but you don't get to skip that not guilty plea. Yeah, that just signed you up for the extended cut of your own downfall director's cut 4K surround sound. Every piece of evidence, every timeline, every ugly detail, all of it, playing on repeat and you just sitting there silent. No mic, no auto-tune, no sad boy face, just you and reality handling you because you're about to go to prison and you're 21. I just checked that people your age are stressing about rent, talking about it. Wasn't me, you. Not even convincing anybody, honestly. That wasn't even a real not guilty plea. It felt like one last ego flex before everything gets stripped away. Because once that courtroom starts, it's over. No fans, no comeback, just a case file and a jury of 12. This dude really thought he was the main character, turns out. He's just the example standing there looking stupid, trying to act tough. So yeah, let's sit with it because this isn't just he got arrested, this is reality. Grabbing him by the collar and dragging him straight down, you really thought you were protecting your career. That's the funniest part, you destroyed your whole life trying to save something you already ruined. Imagine crashing out this badly. You went from next big thing to never getting out in decision. Now you're sitting in a room with no fans, no lights, no stage. Just silence and consequences hitting over and over again. No music to hide behind. No aesthetic. No persona. Just consequences, raw, permanent, and loud in your head. And the charges? Yeah, they stacked you up because they didn't just charge you. They built a full case, planned actions, image protection, interference. And the worst part, the outcome, you didn't just mess up. You layered your downfall like it was an album rollout. Now you're facing life or worse, and honestly, that still be too easy because the real punishment is waking up every day knowing you didn't have to do any of this and you still did it. That's a level of stupid you can't undo. You really thought you could just leave everything sitting there and time would pause for you. Now time doesn't stop for idiots. It exposes them slowly, publicly, completely. Now your name isn't tied to music anymore. It's tied to this forever. You're not an artist anymore. You're a cautionary tale. The type people mention like, don't end up like that guy. That's your storyline. Now you weren't forced. You weren't trapped, you chose it. And now you live in it. No rebrand. No escape, just a locked room in your own mind and probably a locked room in prison too.